Hello and welcome to Align with Nature's Rhythms for Vibrant Health. My name is Christina with Somma Yoga and Wellness, and I'm so glad you're here. In this hour, we will talk about how you can align your body, mind, and spirit with nature's rhythms so that you experience vibrant health and more happiness. This is going to be a great session. It's really about building deep vitality through the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda, yoga, and by combining that with modern behavioral science. So this will be a really practical session where I will share tips with you on how to energize for your day, how to reduce your stress, how to become more physically and mentally fit, and how you can wake up to your potential so that you can be inspired to make change. Make sure that you download and print the workbook so that you can get the most out of this session, and let's get started. I want you to be really honest about where you are now and where you want to see yourself. Why are you here? Do you feel like this person on the left with life on top of you? Or do you feel like the person on the right where you're on top of life and your dreams, desires are being achieved and you're fulfilling your dharma, your life's purpose? Take a look at the workbook and answer these questions. You can just answer them yes or no. Number 1. Do you struggle with adopting and maintaining healthy habits? Do you struggle with building a daily practice? Do you think changing habits will improve your life? And how confident are you that you will succeed? So who is this talk for? If you want to be in control of your health but struggle with finding time in your day to incorporate good habits, or if you want to lose weight, reduce your stress, feel healthier, be more physically fit, have an upbeat mood, then this talk is for you. If you don't want to incorporate habits, if you're looking for a quick fix, then this talk isn't for you. You need to make the change. You need to do the work. Okay, so who am I? My name is Christina SJOBERG, and my background is in psychology and neuroscience. I'm a certified yoga teacher and meditation instructor and Ayurvedic and yogic health coach. I have been teaching and practicing yoga and meditation and Ayurveda for over 20 years now. But I was also a management consultant for many years. And through that course of time, I traveled also to all sorts of places around the world and experienced great things, but there was also long hours and a lot of stress accompanying with that job. And when I had my daughter, the stress really built up. And I found that I was really tired and I felt out of sync. And a few years into it, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So I had low thyroid. And I had to be on medication. And I was told that I would likely be on this medication for the rest of my life, which I didn't love. Kind of a scary diagnosis, if you will. Few years into this, I decided to go on a meditation retreat. And this was sandwiched in between a business trip to China and working on a business certification. But I took a week off and I went on this retreat and it made all the difference. I slowed down. I ate healthy vegan food. I practiced yoga and I felt a lot better and a lot more aligned with my life. When I came back from my business trip, I had to get my blood tested, and it turned out that they had to lower my medication significantly. And this didn't just go on for a few months. This went on for over a period of a year. And I was really surprised by this. I wasn't surprised that habits can make changes in your life and in your health, but I was surprised at how profoundly the difference was over such a short period of time. And from there, I really dug into Ayurveda and Eastern wellness and learned a lot more about why that was the case. And so now I'm here and I'd like to share that with you. I work with people because I truly believe that the body has the natural ability to heal itself when we step out of the way and when we attune to it. When we don't attune to our body and our mind, our energies are not aligned. We feel out of touch, we gain weight, it affects our mood, we feel stressed, our energy levels decline and they deplete. Our well-being is depleted, and really that's truly the opposite of rhythm. Whoops. So it's really important to note our habits. We experience things when we're out of rhythm, such as allergies, stress. We have poor sleep. We might have poor digestion or irritable bowels. We might feel gas and bloat, and our mood might decline. And over time, we can incorporate good habits so that these small health issues start to decline over time and we feel good. But when we don't pay attention and own our habits and just go on the way we've always been living, over time, that leads to poor health. And this is something that's really important because there are symptoms that are the precursor to disease, things such as being fatigued or having allergies or having, irritable bowel syndrome can really lead to things such as autoimmune diseases or cancers or diabetes or dementia and Alzheimer's. And it's important to note, the cost of the problem. Chronic diseases in Canadian adults, 44% of adults over the age of 20, note how young that is, have at least 1 out of 10 common chronic conditions. And this is from the Public Health Agency of Canada. So hypertension, 25%, osteoarthritis, mood and anxiety disorders, osteoporosis, diabetes. And diabetes is something that's happening at a younger and younger age over time. Mood or anxiety disorders are happening now from a young age, ages 10 and up. So this is something that we really need to pay attention to. Autoimmune diseases are happening at a younger onset. So for example, Parkinson's disease. So it's really important to understand that this is something that is really important because it's happening across our society. And it's also important to note that chronic diseases share common risk factors and conditions. So while some risk factors, such as our age, sex, our genetic makeup, they can't be changed, many behavioral risk factors can be modified. So, such as being overweight or having elevated blood lipids or being pre-diabetic. These are things that we can make changes to. So, societal, economic, and physical conditions all influence and shape our behavior, and they therefore indirectly affect our biology. And so it's recognizing this and understanding that we have a lot of power to control and prevent chronic disease. Few things that don't work. So the first is an all or nothing approach. So trying to be perfect, except that you will probably sometimes falter. We all do. Habits don't change overnight, and relying on being perfect is going to likely overwhelm you, and you may end up doing nothing at all. Or perhaps you take everything on and feel overwhelmed and then give up. Sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, we just end up doing nothing at all. So either go, 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 or no go. And so those are sometimes something that happens when we try to just kind of incorporate these changes on our own. Another popular strategy is incorporating too many things at once. So, when we incorporate too many habits at once or too many changes, it can overwhelm us and we end up doing nothing at all. So very similar to the all or nothing approach. So focusing on changing small things over time. Another thing that people often try to do is focus on cutting out bad habits as opposed to incorporating good habits. Relying on motivation or willpower is another popular strategy. So motivation might get you started when you feel inspired, but you can rely on the fact that often motivation will be low, and that's absolutely normal. So you need to rely on something that's going to keep you going. And finally, doing it alone. So often we think that we can incorporate good habits on our own, but it's important to note that our habits are not simply our own. They're communal. We are influenced by those around us. And so when we try to make changes that go against what everybody else is doing, it's important to have people around us who can keep us accountable and also motivate us to keep going. I believe that our body's natural instinct is to heal itself. when we become attuned to it. So living systems are unstable. They seek balance naturally. So the body takes the path of least resistance to get to the most stable form. So the body seeks its own ways to heal itself as a way to seek balance. Disturbances from the environment lead to poor health or diseases. This sets the body off balance. So, for example, when you're very cold outside, your body will do things to help to bring your temperature up. Or if you're very hot, you might sweat. This is demonstrated also in how our body regulates itself through the immune system. From the perspective of modern Western medicine, it's really based on advanced academic principles of biology, chemistry. It looks at the advancement of, pharmaceuticals, vitamins. And really, Western medicine looks at the body through its mechanical functions. So the pumps, the pulleys, the pipes, the fluids. And the perspective is really resolving symptoms and healing parts or responding to acute illness versus the holistic or the Eastern traditions, such as Ayurveda, where they really look at the body as a whole and the different constitutional differences, and look at how one part of the system will affect the other parts. So this is really important to understand. Each body is unique, and there's different aspects to the body and its interaction, not only to itself, but to its environment and the psychological and spiritual aspects as well. It's just important to note that we are really more than some of our parts. And when we attune to that, and when we attune to the rhythms of nature, we feel so much better. Life flows much better if we understand and follow the rhythms of nature. We're surrounded by these rhythms. There's daily rhythms such as the night and the day. There's seasonal rhythms, summer, fall, winter, spring. Inside our body, we have the inhale and the exhale, or the heartbeat. They are simple rhythms. They're powerful, they're practical, and they're actually very meaningful. And yet most of us ignore them. We go against their flow. It's like swimming upstream. Animals and plants consistently and instinctually follow the natural rhythms of the seasons, the moon cycles, and even the daily energies. But because humans have a choice, we often don't. And we too often unconsciously react to old patterns. We do things such as burning the candle at both ends. And we're out of sync and out of touch with the natural flows, the yin and the yang, the ebb and the flow of life. And what's happening is that we start to become more and more out of tune, and epidemiological studies are consistently revealing that the more and the connection we have with the natural systems and with our internal biological clock, the healthier we are. But when they clash, it leads to the development of diseases such as obesity and breast cancer. And this is something that they've been finding over time more and more, and is also supported by the rise in chronic conditions that we looked at before. So I mentioned this term Ayurveda a couple of times, and what is it? So Ayurveda is an ancient form of nature-based medicine. So Ayur means life, and Veda means knowledge. So it's really the knowledge of life, or the knowledge of self. It's the ancient holistic practice that co-arose with yoga. So it's been around and practiced for over 5,000 years, and it's really a holistic approach to health that really focuses on balance. So it focuses on balancing your body, your mind, and your spirit. It isn't meant to replace standard medical care, but rather it's complementary. Really, it's concerned with staying in good health and preventing disease. And this is really by striving for balance in your life, looking for ways, balance of thinking, specific lifestyle and diet choices, and also sometimes the use of herbs as well. Okay, so in Ayurvedic medicine, as I said, balance is really everything. And it's achieved by harmonizing 3 doshas. So these are constitutional types, and you can see them at the bottom of the screen here. There's Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So the doshas are, for lack of a better word, health types, and they're used in Ayurvedic medicine to help understand how someone can eat sleep, exercise, how their emotional strengths are, where their emotional weaknesses are, and they're present in everyone to some degree, these three doshas. So Vata is comprised of different energies, ether and air. And so if you think about lightness and movement and space, these are all qualities of Vata. Pitta is comprised of the elements of fire and water. So if you think of heat and movement and transformation. And Kapha is comprised of the elements of water and earth. So something very stable, moist, and cool. And so how these different energies are, and in what proportion they appear in our body is what really helps us understand how we are and how we respond to things. And it's also what makes each of us unique. Usually people have one or two predominant doshas, and that helps to dictate your tendencies in both your mind and your body. Times of day also have doshas attributed to them. And so this is where we get into the natural rhythm. And when we understand the different elements or doshas in the time of day, this can help us to align to that. And so although we're all unique, we're also all humans, and there's certain basic principles. And if you think about, you may be familiar with the circadian clock. So the circadian rhythm and the Ayurvedic clock, or the dosha clock, shows the different energies. And it's basically the same thing in different languages or different words. So the Ayurvedic clock shows the different energies associated with different times of day. And it's broken down into 4-hour cycles, essentially. And when we understand the different energies at the different times of day, it allows us to better organize our lifestyle. So if we look at sunrise on the left of the screen at around 6 a.m., that's when the sun is coming up. And that is when we move into our day. And that's the kapha time. So if we think of, there's a bit of moisture in the air. It's not too hot. It's a very kind of slow time. And we're starting to ease into our day. So there's that kind of slow, heavy energy that's starting to kind of wake us up to the world. Around 10 a.m., we move into the pitta time of day. So that's when the sun is shining, and it runs until about 2 p.m. It's also when bile production in our body is actually the greatest. So it's the best time to have our biggest meal. Around 2 p.m. to about 6 p.m., the sun is very high. It's a very creative, alert time. It's a great time to be designing, to be solving problems, and to be kind of floating through our day, enjoying our time. Around 6 p.m., around sunset, that's the time for winding down. The energy is getting heavy again. It's a great time for planning for tomorrow, preparing for the day ahead. Around 10 p.m. is when pitta arises again. So pitta is that fire energy. It's the energy of transformation. So around lunchtime, pitta is transforming, helping us to digest our meal. Around 10 p.m., pitta rises. And if you're not in bed before then, you're going to feel that second wind. But really, it's meant as a time for transforming our thoughts. So a time for restoration and rejuvenation. So we really should be sleeping. Around 2 a.m., Vata comes up again. And that's our dreaming time. So, and also early waking time. So if we get up slightly before sunrise, then we experience the beginnings of the new day. So we'll get into this in a little bit more detail here. So essentially, if we align to these energies of the day, to these energies of nature, it really does help us to align our health. The habits of yogis. In my program, the Vibrant Living program, there are 10 key habits of yogis that I go through over a period of 10 weeks with my team, and people have seen profound changes. And so I just want to share a few of these with you. And they're really based on the Ayurvedic clock or the circadian rhythm. And the first one is earlier, lighter dinner. So having our dinner a little bit earlier in the day when the sun is shining, because we are, after all, not nocturnal beings. We are diurnal beings. So we want to try to eat while the sun is in the sky. So having an earlier dinner and closing our kitchen, and then getting to bed early. before pitta rises, so before that 10 p.m. time. And we'll go through each of these in a little more detail. The next is start the day right. So what we need to do to really get the best out of our day. And the last is the breath body practice. So what we need to do when we wake up in the morning after we've started our day right, and how to get that movement in. Okay, so earlier, lighter dinner. That's the first habit. So ama is a concept in Ayurveda which can best be understood as the accumulation of toxins. So in our physiology, and really, we think of toxins in the Western world like chemicals, but really it's more about the byproduct of poor digestion. So that which hasn't been digested is a great way to kind of describe it. So it's that stuff that when you eat too much food and your body can't get rid of it and it's sticky and it kind of clogs up your system. And ama is considered in Ayurveda as the root of nearly all diseases. So it's something to really pay attention to. So in Western medicine, we can describe it as inflammation, or at least related to inflammation. So too much in the body creates stress. When we take in too much food in our body, we can't process it, and this creates ama. The concept is really, uncooked, raw, immature, undigested. That's kind of some of the translations of it. It's really unmetabolized waste that accumulates in our body, and it means our body becomes sluggish and it can't do what it needs to do. The formation of ama is normal. However, too much ama is going to start to, over a long period of time, creates more and more stress in our body. And so when we take time to lessen our food earlier in the day, so we have an earlier, lighter dinner and we close our kitchen, we create a period of time where our body can actually digest the food that we've eaten, so that we go to bed not on a totally full stomach, but we've digested a lot of our food. And that creates a space. So we start to have that natural rhythm of fullness and then emptiness. So we're creating space to digest what we've consumed. And that really helps to take care of some of that ama because we start to digest it. So think about what time is early for you. What time is a good time to close your kitchen? So in Ayurveda, they say around 6 p.m., but it might be 7:30. If you're normally closing your kitchen at 8 or 9 p.m., see if you can start to dial that back, even just by 15 minutes. And then think about what you can do with that time. So if you're having a lighter dinner, maybe a soup or a salad or a stew or maybe a stir fry, something kind of light at the end of the day, then that gives you time to wind down. Maybe you can spend time with your family, maybe go for a walk, take a bath, and start to refill your energy for the next day. And so that's really the first tip. The next habit is early to bed. So again, people often consider ama to be a physical condition. However, when emotions that trouble us are not released or they're kept unchecked, these can also transform into ama, into mental ama. So too much stuff on our mind is too much stress. That's what I was experiencing with my job. When you have a lot of on your mind, you can move into fight or flight, and your body doesn't digest the food as well because you're too stressed. The body, when you're in fight and flight, sends signals to prepare for that. And so it moves the blood away from your digestive organs into your hands, into your feet, so that you're ready to respond to that stress. And your body doesn't necessarily know the difference between a predator that's attacking you and staying up late for a presentation that you're stressed for. So the body sends signals to prepare for this, and blood is sent to the limbs, and food that you're consuming in that time isn't necessarily digested. So too much in the body creates stress. Too much in the mind also creates stress. And that creates what's called ama. Okay. So when we go to bed early, when we take time to close our kitchen, then we have time to digest our food. And when we take time to go to bed early, that allows that time around the 10 p.m. time for the pitta to kick in, and we start to process. That's cleaning house, so to speak. So not only our body, but we're starting to process our day through our dreams. And that's often the purpose of sleep. And so let's talk a little bit about that. Sleep is this incredible period of our lives where we're not conscious, and we might dream, we might twitch, we might even wake up. But in sleep, things that are happening are within our brain and our body, and our outside sensory experiences can't really impact us in most cases. And yet it's this really tremendously important time period of our life because it's our ability, it resets our ability to be focused, to be alert during our waking periods, and also to be emotionally stable. So we can't really talk about sleepfulness without wakefulness, but it's really important to understand. And during sleep, we really process thoughts and our emotions, and that's often through our dreams. In a lot of indigenous cultures around the world, they really value altered states of consciousness that occur during sleep. So those different brain waves that are slower because they believe that we're receiving information, healing, and guidance from the unseen world. And in fact, many traditions actually view sleep as the language and dreams as the language of the soul. So even though perhaps we don't believe that in the modern world, modern science has really affirmed that our capacity to release stress, anxiousness, and unresolved emotions is actually through our dreams often enough. So there's a lot of evidence to support that sleep is really important to our well-being. Okay, so the next habit is start the day right. So you've had an earlier, later dinner. You have gone to bed early, and this is all about getting you off to the best start. If you aren't burning the candle at both ends, and if you're not full, you're going to generally sleep well, and you're already off to a good start. Congratulations if you're already doing this. So what do you do when you wake up? So essentially, wake up early. You have 5 bodies, not just a physical body, but also a breath body. That's called your pranic body, a mind body, an intuitive body, and a spiritual body. In yoga philosophy, there are 5 layers to who you are, and it's essential to optimize each body when you wake up. So all the small steps you take in this direction will have a huge impact to how your day goes. Even if things don't go according to plan, you'll have more inner space. So you'll have more spaciousness inside, and that will allow you to navigate any surprises and disappointments that come your way. You'll be more available to tap into what is possible. And you'll notice when you take time in the morning to strengthen your body, open your breath, that you'll make better choices for your body's longevity throughout the entire day. In spiritual traditions, early mornings are really sacred hours. And this is a precious time of day, but it happens one time in the day. So be present for it. Chances are, with this habit, that it's not new to you. So think about any momentum that you've done by refining your morning routine and thinking about what you need to do. So waking up around 6 a.m., but before sunrise, and take 2 minutes before you get out of bed to appreciate the coming day. Set yourself in a bigger context and mentally rehearse your better habits. And this is going to allow you to really come into and step into your day with more intention. Upon rising, hydrate. So drink 2 to 4 cups of hot water. You can put in fresh lemon if you prefer, just to increase alkalinity. Drink enough to promote elimination. And if you're not able to eliminate after that, drink more. And then move into your day. So it's as simple as that. There are more things that you can do. But we're going to take a pause now to do a brief meditation. So take a comfortable seated position, and I hope you'll join me in this 5-minute meditation practice. See you on the other side. Take a comfortable seated position. Roll your shoulders back and down and allow yourself to settle into wherever it is that you're sitting, your spine lengthen. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly and take a deep breath in. And exhale, release, closing your eyes. Take another deep breath in, filling your belly, your chest, and exhale, release. Maybe one final deep breath in. Noticing how the breath feels in your body. And slowly at your own pace, release and let your hands come down comfortably into your lap. Bring your attention to your feet and feel them resting on the ground. Your hands in your lap. Begin with a brief scan of your body, moving from the crown of your head down to the toes. Notice the areas in your body that are feeling tense or that have sensation, but also notice areas of ease or no sensation. Starting at the crown of your head, not making any changes, but just observing and then moving on. Down through the neck, into the torso, down through the seat and the legs, through to the feet. And now releasing that, start to notice the sounds around you in the room. You might notice small sounds nearby, not seeking them out, but just allowing them to happen as they are. Or perhaps it's really quiet where you are, noticing that as well. And now bring your attention to sounds that are further away, perhaps outside of the room or even outside. Again, not seeking them out, just experiencing them as they are, as they come up. And now bring your attention inwards to your breath. Just noticing your inhale and your exhale. Not trying to make any changes, but just experiencing it as it is. If it's helpful, you can count your breaths. 1 with the inhale, 2 with the exhale, working your way up to 10, and then starting again. Just notice if your mind wanders, if you become distracted. That's okay. Simply bring your attention back and start again at 1. Each time you become distracted,
Simply remind yourself that you're following your breath. And now releasing your counting, just allow your mind to do whatever it is that it wants to do. If your mind wants to think, allow it to think. And now bringing your attention back into the room around you, noticing the sounds, that are nearby, the sounds that are further away. And releasing those, bring your attention back into your body. Notice your feet resting on the ground, your hands in your lap. Just doing a brief scan again, starting at the crown of your head, moving down through your toes, and just noticing how each part of your body is feeling. And slowly releasing that, just take a moment to notice how you're feeling, following the breath. Perhaps setting an intention for how you would like to move through the rest of your day now. And slowly bringing awareness back into the room. Back into your body. Bring your palms together to your heart and rub them quickly so that you can feel warmth between them. And when you feel ready, cup them over your eyes and just linger here for a moment, letting your eyes rest in the warmth and the darkness. And slowly open your eyelids, part your fingers, and dry your hands down your face. Thank you for joining me in this meditation.
Okay, welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed the meditation session. So the next thing you want to do, and a really important habit, is to move. Get your blood flowing each morning with about 20 minutes of movement through your nose. You want to be breathing through your nose. You can do whatever it is that you'd like. You can walk. You can do sun salutations. You can spin. This is an optional, and I do invite you to change it up and find what you like. You can also do pranayama or breath count practices. So I'm going to take us through a 5-minute breath practice now where we do a 4-count breath in, a 4-count hold, and a 4-count breath out, and then a 4-count hold. And I wanted to really talk about how and why that's important. So if you take a look at the picture here, on your left is the inhalation. So you've got your diaphragm at the bottom. When you breathe in, your diaphragm goes down to make more space for your lungs to hold the air. That means that there's more space in your chest cavity. So to accommodate that, your brain sends a message through the vagal nerve to your heart to speed up because it needs more blood in the chest cavity to keep the pressure up. The opposite happens when you breathe out. When you exhale, and you can look on the right, as you exhale, your diaphragm comes up, and that is to push the air out. The air leaves your body, creating a vacuum. The place in your chest cavity becomes smaller, and so your brain sends a message to your heart to slow down, and therefore that is why exhales are calming breaths. So by practicing regular pranayama or breath control, you can actually regulate your body your body systems simply by regulating the breath. So join me in this equalizing breath practice now. See you on the other side. Take a comfortable seated position on the ground or in a chair. Let your heels rest comfortably. Allow your spine to lengthen without being too stiff. I'm going to guide us through this guided breathing practice that includes a count of 4 for your inhale, a 4 count hold, a 4 count exhale, and a 4 count hold. Don't worry, I'll guide us through it. And let's begin.
Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 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 Allow your breathing to return to normal. Tuck your chin to your chest and slowly flutter your eyes open.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the pranayama practice. And it's also important not just to exercise your lungs and to practice meditation, but it's also really important to move your body. For various reasons, you want to be able to move the lymph through your body. You also want to get the blood pumping and your heart pumping. And there's a lot of different ways, and you can choose the practices you'd like. I put together this brief 10-minute yoga asana practice that I hope you'll enjoy and come back to whenever you feel like it. So get into some comfortable clothes. All you need is a yoga mat, and I'll see you on the other side.
Take a comfortable standing position. Roll your shoulders back and down and take your arms wide, palms forward. Raise your toes, spread them and ground into the ground. As you breathe in, float your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. That's one sun breath. And again, inhale, float your arms wide and up overhead. Relax your shoulders. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, float your arms wide, reaching to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, float your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Tuck your chin, come all the way down. Place your hands on your shins. As you inhale, come halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Tuck your chin. Inhale, wide arms with a long spine, come all the way up, reaching to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, float your arms wide and up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. All the way down, tuck your chin. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Tuck your chin. Inhale, wide arms up overhead, reaching to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Come all the way down into tabletop on your hands and knees. Stack your hands under your shoulders, your hips over your knees, and inhale into cow. Open your chest. Exhale, suck your belly and round your spine. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. And just do this a few times, just at your own pace. Inhaling, opening the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck the chin. Inhale, raise the tailbone. Exhale, lower the tailbone. Keep going. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, round and sink your hips down. Hold that exhale. Inhale, back into cow. Exhale, round, and then sink your hips down. Adding a little bit more here. Inhale into cow, open the chest. Exhale, tuck your chin, round, and sink down. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Suck the belly and then sink down. Let your hips come down towards your heels. Inhale, opening your chest, gazing out into the world. Exhale, round, curl your toes under. Press your hips up into downward facing dog. Press into your hands, spread your fingers. On your inhale, table, into cow, opening the chest. Exhale, round, and sink your hips down. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Raise the hips up into downward facing dog. Press into the hands. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round, and sink down into child's pose. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, round. Curl your toes under and reach your hips up to the sky. Suck the belly in. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, round and sink down. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round. Downward facing dog. Reach your heels towards the ground. Inhale, table into cow. Exhale, round and sink down into child's pose. From here, inhale, open into cow. Come back into neutral spine. Extend your right leg. Place all 5 toes of your right foot into the ground. Press your right heel back. Squeeze the belly. Breathe here. Feel the length in the back of your leg. Also a break on your knee, and then step your right foot forward. Stack the right knee on top of the ankle. Slide your left foot back. Left knee back. Reach your chest up. Open your arms. Tuck your chin. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, open the arms, spread the fingers. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, open. Exhale, hands to heart. Keep those elbows up. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale. Inhale, opening, draw those shoulder blades together. Exhale. Bring your hands back down. Step your right foot back into table. Extend your left leg. Press your left heel back and breathe here. Feel that nice length in the back of your left leg. And when you're ready, step your left foot forward, stack the knee on top of the ankle, slide the right knee back. Reach your chest up to the sky, breathe in, open your arms. Exhale, hands to heart. 4 more times. Inhale, opening, tuck the chin, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, spread the fingers, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Bring your hands back down, step your right foot back, press up into downward facing dog, and breathe here. Bend to the right knee, and then the left, and just do that a few times. Just allowing yourself to be playful, raise both heels up and down, and just play with this pose for a moment, feeling that nice extension in the back. When you're ready, walk your hands back towards your feet. Take your time. Bend your knees slightly, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, wide arms, up overhead, reaching to the sky, and exhale, hands to your heart. Squeeze the belly. Turn to face the wide length of the mat, hands on your hips. Take your heels slightly wider than your toes. Clasp your hands behind your back. Drawing your shoulder blades together, hug your belly in so that you don't pop your ribs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Reach your arms up towards the sky. With each exhale coming a little bit deeper, reach the arms a little bit higher. Draw the elbows together. Keep breathing here. And slowly come all the way out. Release your hands and bring your heels and toes together, stepping all the way forward. Inhale, float your arms up overhead. Clasp your right wrist and come down to your right. Keep breathing here. Relax the shoulder. Inhale. Exhale down to the other side. Inhale back to center and exhale, float your arms down. Roll your shoulders back and down a few times with the breath. Thanks so much.
And welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed the 4 habits of yogis that we talked about today. Obviously, I can't teach you to build your ideal routine in an hour. For those who are serious about wanting to take care of their health, I want to help you. Here is how. I can offer you a strategy session. This is a one-on-one session where we will go in depth in order to really clarify your next vision for yourself, for your body, for your life, so that your future is bigger and brighter than your past. In this process, we'll tune into your intuition, and we'll also uncover whatever it is that you're doing that isn't really working for you right now and is going against your vision of your daily habits. So you'll come away with 2 to 3 clear action steps that will get you on your way to achieving these goals. I only have a few sessions. I only have about 5 spots available. And obviously I can't meet everyone who signs up. But if you're sick and tired of being unhealthy and not reaching your goals, then, I invite you to visit sommayogaandwellness.com, Vibrant Living Program. You can see it on the screen there, and click on book a strategy session. And, if you're ready to invest in your health and a real breakthrough, I hope that you'll join me for this opportunity and a strategy session. So you need to sign up now while this is on your mind. I'm going to take 5 people this week. So sign up now. It's a $150 value, and it's a 60-minute strategy session. And I get amazing value with my clients every time we do this. And I'm giving this to you as a way to say thank you for joining me in this talk. So to do this, simply click on the link at sommayogaandwellness.com, Vibrant Living Program, and fill out the form. And I will be in touch with you to set up a time to speak once you filled out the form. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you are on your way to vibrant living and health. And if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm Christina at Somma Yoga and Wellness. Namaste. Thank you.